Hello guys and welcome back to Haymanager with me Alex, and today we're going to be going through my new series and starting from episode 1 of the new Glory Hunter save. So you've probably seen by the thumbnail already who we're starting with. It is going to be Tottenham Hotspur. I was going to choose a Dortmund or a team like that, but I thought Tottenham is a good starting point. You have to win the league in sort of year 1, year 2. If it's not going to work out, we move on. So anyway, enough of the talking, let's get into the action. So here we have it. We have updated my football manager skin. We've got everything there is to see. Just a pre-warning actually, I do actually have a sparrow nest outside of my window. So if you ever hear birds chirping in the background, just understand that I've tried my best. I've clogged the vent with whatever I can, but they still make a lot of noise. So as you can see here, we've got a nice presentation. This is actually Tato skin, which is something that I've used, I think, for a long time now. I really like the layout of how they do stuff. You've got your fixtures and results laid out quite nicely. Honours, everything's like tabbed, so you can sort of see who's in and out, finances, and so on and so forth. Media prediction is third for us, Champions League. Our expectations is actually just to get Europa League football, so they want to keep us sort of down there. Actually, our media prediction isn't third, it's fourth. So they're expecting City first, then Liverpool in there at second, Chelsea third, then us, then Manchester United, then Arsenal, then Newcastle. So we're fourth for us, but for Tottenham, I think it's going to be good because they've not had much success, I've got to say, over the last few years. So if you go back onto myself, obviously we go to the history and the competitions, you can see Champions League, we were runner-up in 2019. Other than that, third place and runner-up in the Premier League in 17-18. 2021 Carabao Cup runner-up. Nothing of late. So it'd be nice to try and bring some honours to the Tottenham Hotspur team. We'll go through the transfers first for who I've brought in and who's gone out, and we'll just get straight into it because why not, eh? So you can see a few things going on here, a few bits and bobs, but really who's come in and who's gone. So we'll sort it by date because you can see who's gone and who's come in. So at the start of this year, we saw up until about here who came into the squad. So you got Basuma coming for 25 million from Brighton. Very promising, but hasn't had a standout year this year. And we had Christian Romero coming from Atalanta. He was a very good player. I think he's a very strong player, really good Argentinian centre-back. Richarlison came in for 50 million. I don't think he actually scored for Tottenham in the Premier League this year, so that's a bit of a weird one. Jude Soonsup-Bell, he came in from Chelsea for free. We've got Ivan Perisic in for free from Inter Milan. Danjuma in on loan, Pedro Porro in on loan, and Langley in from loan. So we've got the option to buy Porro and Langley, and I think Danjuma as well. It might be in his contract that we actually have an optional future fee at 27 million. So we'll see how he fares. But he's a very good player as well, only 25 too. But for me, for my two players that I've brought in that I wanted to try and express it, because I had a few bits spare money really. I think I had about 40-50 million left over. So I brought in Adrian Rabiot. It was going to be him or Tielemans. I wanted to really bring Tielemans in from Leicester, but Rabiot is a better box-to-box midfielder, a bit more creativity in the midfield. We've got very good defensive players, your Basumas, your Benson Kers, your Højbjerg, your Oliver Skip, sort of a good set of CDMs, but nobody actually creative. So this passing, the vision's not brilliant, but the passing and positioning's there, the teamwork, the work rate. I like that the fact that he's got good long shots. Rabiot's good, and as you can see, his physicals are monstrous. So great strength, stamina, and pace. I think he's a great player to sort of bring in and be like a box-to-box midfielder. Well, I've brought him in to be a box-to-box midfielder, but he can play the central midfielder support position. As you can see, he's very good in that support role. I know the vision lacks, but he's pretty good. But he can also play that defensive ball-winning midfield, which is also something that I've brought him in to try and play if I need to. And alongside that, I've brought in Luis Alberto, a really creative, I think, not world-class, but up there. He's an important player for us. I brought him in. He's only cost us 28 million so far. You can see 2.5 million after 50 league appearances, 2 million after 20 appearances, and then 4 million each year in increments, 4, 8, 12. So 12 million additionals on top of that, and then 20% and if any profit that we sell him on for. I think you've got an extra 12, maybe 15, 17 million to go on top of that if he does reach those goals. But as far as I'm concerned, we've brought in a player who's got 20 flair, 18 vision, 17 passing, 17 first touch, 15 dribbling and finishing, great at corners, technique 16. The only thing that lacks is that physical, which is why I've partnered him up with Rabiot. So he's going to play that advanced playmaker role for us. So that's who I've brought in. As for the outs, who we're looking at here, we're looking at Tanganga, who we've sent out. He's just gone 16 million. I just don't think he's going to be anywhere near what I think we need in this squad. As you can see, Tanganga was down here. He's going to sort of plateau. He's 23, 25, looking at getting to a peak. He's just not that high quality that we need. I think he suits Brighton. I think he's fast. He's good at physically, but I don't think he's to get 16 million for him. I think was a good bargain. Anyway, other than that, we've sent a few people out on loan, as you can see here. But realistically, I'm trying to get rid of a few more players. So if we go into the squad and the tactics of what I'm going to be playing, so we've got this very positive 4-3-3 basically, or 4-1-2-2-1 as you might call it nowadays. Playing Lloris in net. This is a player that I was thinking about getting rid of. I don't really like Lloris. He's transfer listed in his last year of his contract, I believe. Oh, he's got 2 years left, 120 grand a week. So it's not perfect, but it is what it is. He avoids losing his weaker foot. He's not brilliant in the air. Command of his area is not brilliant. Communication not great either. He's not really a first touch type of player. I did want to try and bring in Andre Onana. I would have really liked to brought him in, and he's only valued at around 29-41 million. I think he would have been great to try and bring in. He's very interested in the loan, but I think he's his first choice goalkeeper. Try to bring him in, but I just don't have the budget for that. If we can try and shift some players down here, as you can see, we're trying to sell on Davinson Sanchez. He's a player that I could try and get rid of because he's same as Tanganga, just not good at all. I'm going to try and ship him off yet again. Let's try for 30 million this time. We've got other players like Ryan Sessegnon, again another player that's just never going to play for us. 22, probably a little bit of development left in him, but I think he's surplus to requirements. I'd like to try and get rid of him. Then we've got Kulusevski and Danjuma, who are both injured, but other than that, I think that's pretty much it. So we've not actually sold anyone, which is something. Well, we've sold one person, but we've not sold anyone else. We've got Lo Celso in there, who we can try and ship on. Well, a lot of what I can see here is we like to loan players out. Harry Winks, for example, Lo Celso, Troy Parrott might be a good player in the future, but I don't know. Brian Gill, we actually brought in. Tottenham brought in for 21.5 million, loaned him out twice in that time. I don't think he's actually that good. 21, is he going to develop into a world-class player? I don't think so. So I think early signs of quality signing for the future. He could be a potentially Premier League standard, but at the moment he's Championship. He doesn't look like he's going to develop into anything special. He's got great physicals in such as acceleration and agility and flair, mentals, but other than that, nothing stands out. You got decent dribbling, decent technique, fantastic. But if you're finishing and the other stats that you need to be a really good, well, I need an inverted winger really, who's going to play on the other side because we've got Son for a good 2-3 years. You need to develop your off the ball, your composure and decisions have to be massive, and as well as your anticipation really. It just doesn't look like it's going to develop, so Brian Gill might have to go. As well as that, Sergio Reguilon, another player that we don't want to sell. We brought him in for 25 million, and then we've loaned him out this year, but why loan him out when you can just get rid of him? His contract he's got here is until 2025. Whether or not it's because people might want to use him in the future, I don't know, because Perisic's going, he could step in, but Reguilon, 14 tackling, is there a better player out there that could probably get in? I'd say yes. Harry Winks, another player, just needs to go, definitely go. And then you've got Richarlison, who for 50 million, I know he's 25, he's got decent physicals, he's a good backup, he's not going to set the world alight. So players like that, we need to try and get rid of us, as well as that. And Ndombele, do I try and keep him on? Is he going to be worthwhile? His contract's 120 grand a week, and he's not a 120 grand a week player. Not great vision. I think we've brought in Rabiot. How much is Rabiot's contract? We've brought him in on 155k, so I'll be playing him every week. Luis Alberto's come in, 125k a week. He's a world-class player. I just can't see it happening. So that's what we're playing tactically. We've got a backup in a 5, basically a 5-2-3, but with wing backs, and then on top of that we've got like a 3-5-2, 2 CDMs, a ball winning midfielder and a DM with an advanced playmaker, and can put Harry Kane and Son up top with a few, with Perisic, Porro bursting forward on the wings, make it a bit better. That's where we're at so far. Staff wise, I've rebuilt the staff up because the staff are appalling. I've got quite a few scouts come through. I've rebuilt the physios. I've got the best sports science team, because this is part of the build. This is part of what you do. As much as you're building teams up to win leagues, you're building teams up to have a future. You look at the schedule here. We've got United, then we do have Fulham and Arsenal within the first 8 games. But we've got Fulham, Villa, In Southampton, we know Fulham are probably were favourites to beat Fulham, definitely, with Harry Wilson and Solomon out. Aston Villa, I think we could probably try and take Aston Villa. Emilio Martinez is doubtful for that game, but I think we could probably take Aston Villa. I know they're a good team, but it's got to be said, we're probably levels above them. This is the Aston Villa team at the start of the year, not now, obviously, so you're looking at Traore, Watkins, Coutinho, Ramsey, Buendia, Digne, Mings, Dondeka and Chambers and Olsen. So not fantastic to the start of the year for them. And then Southampton, we have to be beating Southampton. Their tactics, their team, it's just not good enough. It's really not good enough. So that's the opening few games. I'll bring you in the next episode. Manchester United. We'll play Fulham as well. So we get 2 games per episode. So it'll be about 12 minutes per episode. We'll jump straight into it. I'll bring you any of the updates, any of the news. I hope we did enjoy this episode. Oh, to show you as well, I've actually made a screen, or a trophy room as I'm going to call it, so we can keep a bit of history with us. So I'm going to make a trophy room, so this is what you'll be looking at most of the time. This is what I want to try and develop. This is, so for example, if I can bring in English trophies, French trophies and German trophies, does that translate through? But yeah, I want to bring a bit of like a storyline to this. So we've got a trophy room, we'll have like a Hall of Fame. Oh, there you go, it's translated through, so you can see if as we're winning games or winning leagues, you got the Premier League trophy, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, then we have the French Ligue 1 plate, the Coupe de France I think it's called, then we have the Bundesliga plate as well as the Pokal, DFB Pokal, which is something you try and win. So you got as many trophies as we win. I'll stack this out. I might have to, we'll see how it goes, but I'm hoping that I can maybe expand this, make this even bigger, because you want to win as many as you can. There are a few spaces for the World Cup. I'll tell you what, I'll put all the trophies in that I can. There we go. Oh, there you go. It's really good. Top right, just above me, or 2 shelves above me, you got the World Cup and the Euros. And then, other than that, there's nothing else really to win. So, yeah, probably a few Manager of the Month awards above here, and then maybe I'll make a Hall of Fame. So if we have like players that win us, the storyline builds. We have Harry Kane. He's become like this player. We've got him to beat the Premier League record, so that's like a little snapshot. We make a little card and say, look, this is Harry Kane, he's done this for us. I think it'd be nice. I think it'd be a nice storyline, something to build on. And yeah, so anyway, a big introduction there, probably a long video, 18 minutes say, 20 minutes say. I'll try and edit it down if I can, but I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, as ever, please leave a like. That's going to my outro. Subscribe if you are new. 129 subscribers, trying to increase that nowadays. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy it as ever, and I hope you're having a great day. So here's to the next one. Hopefully a few shorter episodes, a few 12 minutes. Try and keep it cramped, try and keep it nice and light. And yeah, I hope you did enjoy. So I'll catch you in the next one. From me, Alex. Have a great day. Ciao.